Welcome, everyone. YouTube tells me I'm live. So they are on my end of things saying I have audio visual. If you can see and hear me, would you give me a 5 by 5, a thumbs up, some sort of a signal that I know it's not just on my end of things that there's audio visual? Okay. Several people chiming in and saying we're good. 5 by 5. I see a heart. Good deal. Good deal. In the past, we've had YouTube give faulty information or give us a poor connection. That seems to have not happened because we were able to start Plan B live stream so fast they could see that it just wasn't going to be effective. Excuse me for just a second. I do need to cough and clear my throat. So I am going to mute real quick, but you'll see me coughing. I'll try not to let you hear me coughing. Okay, I'm back. Well, it's almost time for us to start. In 1 minute, we'll be starting our official meditation for this week. I want to thank everyone for being here. We have more than enough people here to proceed and to make a difference in our world. And what a beautiful difference we are going to make. I have absolutely no doubt about it. So it's the third Sunday of November 2025, and our focus this month is going to be on abundance. And my meditation format is non-denominational. I respect the fact that people come from a variety of faith paths or spiritual walks or no faith path, but just a belief that meditation is powerful and they want to participate. So I want everyone to feel welcome here. To that end, if I, by some wording I use, indicate my faith path, it's not that I'm trying to slip it in there. It's just it's accidental, so excuse me if I do, because again, this non-denominational meditation is the format, and everyone is welcome here who is either observing a neutrality or participating positively. We do not want to in any way welcome negative energy in. It exists, but we don't need to open the door or welcome it or invite it. So that's why I give a conditional welcome to the other types of energy. Neutral or positive is always welcome in our meditations. If this is the first meditation of mine that you have observed or participated in, I want to welcome you. It may not proceed in the ways that you traditionally think of a meditation proceeding. It's going to be a lot of me talking. You don't have to look at this screen. You can stretch out on the floor if you want to get your chakras in alignment. They don't necessarily have to be vertical to be in alignment. And just listen as we go. One of the big focuses of my meditations is on protecting our energy. Because in the past, people with good intentions and pure hearts participated in group meditations, and without protecting that energy was hijacked, used for other purposes, etc. So people have gone from warning people not to participate in group meditations to saying, yes, you absolutely can, but we have to protect our energy. So you'll notice a lot of what I do here at the start is protecting energy, and that's for that purpose. Because if you are donating your intention, your love, your heart, your spirit for a specific intention, it needs to be honored and protected forever. So, and not used in other ways or for other purposes, transmuted, hijacked in any way. So now that I've welcomed you and kind of reminded you of what our focus is about today, let's do that farewell to negativity. If there is negative energy that is being intended for us, directed to us from any direction that is trying to impact or negatively take away from our purpose today, we want to gather up that negativity and send it to source to be purified and then repurposed. So this is that due diligence warning I'm giving you, that if that's your purpose or that's what you've done, by remaining and not removing it yourself, you're giving us your implied permission to do this to the energy you're offering. So everybody that is in agreement with me, that would like to remove any negative energy that's being sent to us, directed towards us, intended for us from past, present, future, nearby timelines, no limit to where it could come from. If it's negative, it's meant for us. We want to bundle it up and send it to be purified and repurposed. And we're doing that very quickly in 3, 2, 1, now. And that's all the attention that we're going to give negative energy. That's all that was needed today to make sure that we have cleared the air, sort of. Now, there's more protections we want. Okay, I mentioned them in passing, but let's do them explicitly. The intentions of this meditation, positive intentions, positive energy, any positive intention that's stated here or energy that's given during this meditation, we want that energy to be protected, to be given for that positive purpose that it was intended for always, and never hijacked, transmuted, or used for other purposes. So picture it as something flying through space forever and ever on an unchanging course. That's what our intentions are going to be. So we ask for that, we seek that, we expect that. That is our intention, and no other permission is given. We want the energy we give for this meditation. We give it willingly, we give it freely, we give it according to our free will. So there might be a step or something I mentioned today that you go, I'm going to wait this one out. That is fine. We honor free will in all ways in these meditations. So you may participate 100% of the way through, you may not participate at all, or you may selectively participate. That's your choice. The energy you give, when you give it, we want that energy to be replaced and replenished just as fast as you give it out. This is part of how we learn to be a conduit of energy. Another thing that we've been taught that wasn't necessarily true was that we had to be careful with our energy. There was limits to it. We could run dry. We could, and if we learn to be a conduit to and tap into a limitless source of loving, creative energy, there's no limit. We're a conduit, okay? So we want to, if we're not quite a conduit yet, or we want to contribute our own personal energy, we want that energy we give out to be refilled in at least equal measure, if not more. So you should leave this in it, no matter how much energy or focus or intention you give us today, you should leave this meditation feeling not the least bit depleted or drained energetically. So that's one of the other protections and intentions that we have. And then for those of us that are participating, that we be, our intentions, our energy, our very essence be safe and protected and just absolutely impervious to any kind of negative energy, intention, etc. as we work on together today. Okay, because again, we want our personal reserves of energy to be refilled as quickly as we give it. And with a little bit of practice, you can learn to be a conduit, and then there's no limit to what you can give in a positive nature once you do that. All right. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. We've got, as I said, we have enough people to proceed to have meditation that makes a difference. Why do I say that? It's kind of commonly understood that if you have 20 people who participate in coordinated, like-minded fashion, that is enough of an energy blast to change reality as we know it, to make changes or start those changes rolling. And we have well more than that here. I'm assuming some people are just observing, but we have enough that I know we have enough participants to make that change that we want in our world. Now let's get ourselves as ready as we can. I mentioned having your chakras in alignment. That means sitting up as straight as possible, or if that's a problem for you, stretching out on the floor. And if it's because of a physical problem, if you can't get your chakras in perfect alignment, please don't sit this one out. If we have a loving creator of all creators who can do amazing things, that energy can work through a slight fluctuation in a imperfectly aligned chakra field. So don't let that stop you. Participate anyway. And just picture your energy flowing just as perfectly as it would if your alignment was straight. Okay, we're going to think of that energetic alignment as energy that doesn't have to run in a straight line. It can be fluid. It can do that curve. It can handle that. No problem. But if you're able to, let's meet that positive energy halfway. Sit up as straight as you can. Get those chakras in alignment. Okay, a lotus position is not required. Just sit up as straight as you can. Now, we started this, it's 2:00 in the afternoon where I'm at. It's a little earlier on the West Coast. It's evening over in Europe. It's wee hours of the morning for New Zealand. We have a lot of people that participate here from different hours of the day. But what's common to all of us is we have regular lives that we participate in up until the time we sit down and take part in this meditation. And those lives sometimes have events or things happen that cause us some stress. Okay. And not all stress is bad, but it can be a distractor. Okay. So, and when I say not all stress is bad, I have been excited about a vacation in the past. And the stress of making sure I don't forget anything, that stress involved with that, but it's still good stress because I'm working towards something I really want to do, a place I want to see, some place I want to explore. So whether the stress that you brought to the table today is negative or positive, let's set it aside for now in our bodies. We can trick our bodies into thinking that we are stress-free. It's very simple to do, okay? It's the shoulders. As we get stressed, our shoulders go up, up, up. So we're going to take a second and make them go down, down, down. It's that simple. When our body feels our shoulders going down, any alarm signals that were going off, they shut off, they go back into neutral. So bring those shoulders down. And if they were already down, you can still extend them a little bit further, and it feels good. It's a great stretch to do. Bringing those shoulders down. Okay. Now, another way we can trick the body, and I wanted to share this with you, is by smiling. I tend to try to focus on positive intentions, positive events. Can't always do it 100% because it's a crazy world we live in. But one of the things we can also do is help ourselves we can trick ourselves into thinking we're happier than we might actually be. And that is by sustaining a smile that has to reach your eyes too for about 45 seconds. Okay. So now it's not just a smile that releases those dopamine chemicals and makes you feel good. It's a smile that reaches your eyes and lasts for about 45 seconds. So we can trick our body into thinking there's much less stress than there actually might be. And we can also trick our body into thinking, hey, we're happier. We're ready to enjoy those great chemicals that come out when we're happy, excited, ecstatic. We can start that process intentionally, and then it may continue naturally. So if you weren't already smiling, make sure that you are. If you so choose, some people like a good grump, okay? I'll honor that. But if you don't, make sure your smile gets to your eyes. So you crinkle up a little bit here too, and then you're doing it right. Okay, now let's any dingy energy that's remaining inside us, even though we've removed negative energy, we still can have some residual energy that isn't totally positive. And it's just that product of life stress, things that we're thinking about, that we imperfectly let go of. But let's take a 3-breath exercise to get any remaining residual negative energy out, and again, sent to be purified and then repurposed. And further, when we send energy to be purified and repurposed, let's also think that we don't want it back in negative format for this plane of existence again, ever. So each of us can help in a very small but important way in helping this world go from dark to light, the energy available to us to go from dark to light, and the never, ever, ever, ever send negative energy back to the sender. They can just weaponize it and use it again. Okay. If someone's in a mindset or place where they are negative, they are hateful, they are sending you negative energy, you can acknowledge it and send it to be purified and repurposed, but not back to the sender. Okay. So just, if that's where they're at, that's where they're at, but we don't have to play their game or refuel them. So let's not do that either. Okay. Now those 3 breaths, it's going to be doing a little bit of image work in your head here as we do this. The first breath in, you're going to be, every breath in is going to be pure and sparkly and just perfectly what your body and spirit need to operate in an optimal way. Your first breath out, your first exhale, is going to contain any dinginess or residue that you hadn't quite gotten rid of yet. If you're good at this, you may not have any. If it's the first time, you're going to probably visualize yourself having a little bit of an exhale that looks almost like a car exhaust or kind of gray or something like that. And again, as it comes out, where it's going is to be purified and repurposed. Second breath in and out should look really, really good, maybe perfect. And the third breath, By then, we've cleaned ourselves out inside and out, gotten rid of any residual negative energy. And that third breath out, that exhale should be just as beautiful as it was going in. And all of these 3 breaths should feel fantastic, just exactly what you needed. Okay, so let's do those 3 breaths now. If you need to close your eyes to visualize, I'm not going to be doing anything exciting. You can close your eyes to visualize. I visualize myself blowing on a dandelion fluff. And I successfully do it. You always have a few that tend to cling. Those are what I send to source. Okay. And the first batch might have a little bit of gray to them. The second batch looks white. And the third batch is sparkling, just as beautiful as the air was coming into me. That's my visualization technique. I'm sharing it with you. It's by no means all that's out there. You just may be visualizing, beautiful, clear breath, and that's fine. When I lived in Alaska years ago, they don't say it now, but we used to say the air was so clear we breathed on faith. So let's picture that kind of clear air coming into our systems and leaving too as we get that purification process done. So we're going to do the first breath in, visualizing however we choose. For the exhale, in 3, 2, 1, in. Hold and out. Bringing my shoulders down as I do to increase that good feeling of this inhale, exhale. Okay, the second breath in. Sparkling, pure, beautiful. Hold and out. Bringing my shoulders down as I exhale. Third breath in. Hold and out. So we've gotten ourselves ready for the energy we're going to be working with. Our focus this month is on abundance. I had a little hesitancy about the topic because it's been used poorly, I think, in some practices where they think of abundance as only being material wealth. And abundance is that and so much more. So I want to make that clear that I'm not excluding it, but I'm not only talking about material abundance in the meditation today. We're going to think of all the ways that our lives can and should have more abundance. We're going to welcome it into our lives as we choose. They say that abundance is actually just energy you have to accept and allow in. Now, first, something I think you might not have thought about. We have been programmed as a human race. The human race has been programmed. Our languages have been impacted. The information that we've been told is true has been deliberately not what we were told. One of the things we want to do, again, we cleared our energy at the start and we protected our intentions. Let's talk about the fact that maybe because of programming, we've accepted that this reality, this world we live in, that there is a lack of abundance. Okay. Now, I do believe that people enjoy profit from effort to varying degrees, but I'm talking about lack as opposed to abundance. We've been taught that that's just the way it is. Okay. There's haves and have-nots. And even if we didn't like it, if there's any possibility that we gave our implied consent to that being how this reality runs, let's have our first and most important action in this meditation to remove, revoke, and cancel out any implied consent we gave to the reality we live in not being abundant in every meaningful way that humans like, need, and would enjoy. Let's revoke and recall that consent and get that energy that was given without our consent, just implied consent, back to us so we can redirect it where we choose. So we're going to picture ourselves. I'm going to picture it as strings just drawing back into myself. And we're going to do that. If this is resonating with you as something powerful you would like to participate in, we're doing it in 3, 2, 1. We revoke and recall and cancel any implied consent that was previously given to live out our lives in a plane of existence where a lack of abundance of what people need to be happy, to be healthy, to be their best possible version of themselves, that we accepted that there were some that just couldn't have that, that wouldn't have that. We revoke that consent. We recall it. We cancel it out. And the energy that was given for that is recalled back to us so that we're full and filled and able to redirect consciously and with full intent our energy where we choose to have it sent. So I don't know if you're feeling like you've got some energy back now, but if you participated in that, you should feel like you have some of that. Okay. Now let's take a minute and think about abundance. And I usually try to run my meditations where we do service for others as well as service for self. But you can't pour from a bucket you haven't filled. So let's take care of ourselves first here, and then we're going to think about others and serve others. So I want you to think of the ways in which your life has abundance or lacks abundance: health, material goods, a safe place to live, clothing, clean food to eat, nutritious food to eat, an ability to not have to worry about where the next meal is coming from or how you'll make it to payday. There are people that live with a lack of love and affection and touch. So think of all the ways in which you either have abundance or you lack it. And let's give our informed consent out to the universe that we consent to have abundance be available to us in every meaningful aspect of our lives, our hearts, ourselves. So how I'm going to phrase it for myself, and you're welcome to, I'll try to repeat it. I'm working without a script here. I'll try to repeat it. So if you'd like to do it with me, you can the second way. I give my informed consent and explicit consent to enjoy abundance in every meaningful aspect of my life. Okay, second time through. Join with me if you want. I give my informed, explicit consent to enjoy abundance in every meaningful aspect of my life. And you can tweak that. If you want to be real specific, you can say positive abundance, good health, clean food, good things, good positive things. We're not going to worry about, we have a right as living beings to call in and expect the best for ourselves, and to shake off any programming that told us we were less than, that no, that's not for you. I'm sorry. We're all on that red carpet. Now, part of being, I think, a growing person, a growing spiritual energy, is acknowledging places and ways in which you already have something to be grateful for. So take a second. I hope no one says there's nothing they need to be grateful about, that they have to be grateful about. Think of something you have in abundance. It may be fresh air to breathe. It may be clean water. It may be that there are some people in your life, your family or friends, that just unwaveringly, you don't have much, but they love you, and you know they love you. Maybe you've got that friend that if you need something, they're there for you. Think of something you have in abundance, and let's just take a sec to picture a few of those things and say thank you for those. Okay? Because I don't think most people that are going to be participating in this meditation completely are doing so without abundance. You may have an abundance of IQ points to read and assimilate information quickly. You may have a healthy pet that shares your life with you. You may have a close relationship with one or two people, even if you'd like to have more. So think of those areas where you have, or times that you have abundance, okay? Not the negative abundance, but the positives that you've already got. Let's say thanks for those, and I'm ready to have every other aspect of my life be just as abundantly fulfilled. Okay. Now, let's pivot a little bit and do a service to others. Okay. We want to honor their free will, and I want you to participate according to your free will. So you may want to sit this one out, you may not. But if you do choose to participate, I'm going to keep it simple. And let's just say, let's picture someone we know and love, or a situation we know of where abundance, whether it's building supplies for people rebuilding from storms or fires, whatever it might be, okay, that we picture something we want to see them enjoy some abundance of. And let's picture that abundance landing on them according to their free will. Again, just as like I said earlier, there's some people that enjoy being grumpy. And maybe there's some people that are actually happy when they're unhappy. I don't get that, but I do accept that I've met a couple of those people. I know they exist. So we don't want to violate their free will. Okay? If they're happy being unhappy, then our intention is just going to go around them like, a breeze around someone standing outside. But if they'd welcome it, then let's intention that for them, okay? So how I'm going to phrase that is according to others' free will. And you can think of who you're thinking of specifically right here, okay? I would like them to enjoy abundance in these areas. Service to others. Now, let's go a little farther. And instead of thinking of an individual, let's think about something that's more global or even more than global. We have, I believe, benevolent off-world beings who help us. Okay? They have, in some cases, what might be not seem too like finite to us, but maybe finite resources of energy or equipment, technology, whatever it might be. If that resonates with you, let's picture them having their resources filled beyond their wildest imagination or hopes. That the energy they need to do what they do, to stay the course, to hold their ground, to stand firm, to help, is renewed and multiplied. Okay, that abundance for them. For our world, think about our world. I'm going to picture our world, the efforts that are made to clean up the ocean, to remove the plastics, things like that, that happens in abundance for our world. That efforts that are being made to end certain types of pollution, that those resources are made available and the results are better than anybody could have ever hoped. So again, we've gone from service to others, picturing individuals, to service to others, thinking of our world and even maybe beyond our world. Okay? You can even go so far as wherever your faith path is ultimately directed, abundance for that. It's probably there already, but what's it going to hurt? To say, I love what you do so much. I want you to have anything you need to do it in abundance. Okay, so as your free will aligns with those options for service to others that's more than an individual, let's take a second and picture those. I'm going to picture the world. I'm going to picture that like that plastic island out in the Pacific Ocean getting totally cleaned up or just disappearing to people's amazement. I'm going to picture benevolent beings that have been helping us and feeling like it's gotten to be a bit of a slog. Feeling renewed hope, dedication, desire, and like, yeah, these silly little people, they're worth it. renewed resolve. And it's probably not needed. But for the source of my faith and where my faith is directed, abundance there. It's probably already there, but I still want to say, I want you to have it. I'm glad you have it. And if you need it, I hope you have more. Okay, everybody, those were our intentions for this meditation. And we talked about abundance. We didn't want to just think of it only as material abundance, although that's important in the world we live in, the way it runs right now. We wanted to think of resources of energy, of relationships, of health, of nourishment, of clean water, whatever the abundance might be, resources we have spiritually. We also took a minute and we have recalled and revoked any consent we might have seemed to have given to live in a reality where there's a lack of any of those things, to live in a world where abundance isn't something that's just available to all of us. Okay. And I'm not talking about welfare states here. As I said, I respect and believe that when people work harder, they gather more. But that doesn't mean that there's not a level of abundance that just shouldn't be ours, just for being abundance of energy, of love, of health, of happiness, that should be available to all of us equally. Okay, not a tiered distribution system. So I'm going to conclude our meditation by thanking you for participating, hoping that you feel like the energy you gave or the things that you meditated on and thought about had value and meaning, and know that the energy you gave has made a difference. I hope that each and every one of you that have recognized an area of your life that needs more abundance, that you get that it comes into your life. I'm going to share real quickly before I leave. One of the things I was thinking of, because it wasn't money. I mean, although I'm not rich, I moved a couple of years ago to a small town in northern Maine. And the only person I knew here was my daughter and grandson because I came to help them. I have always enjoyed having friendships, those people that are of like mind, if not in every way I am, at least some of those. And those people, get together, we have lunch, play cribbage, whatever. I would like to have more of an abundance of people locally that I can share my life with and have some interactions with. And and I can't even think of anybody specifically because I don't really know of anybody that's awake in the way that I am. But if they're out there, I'm hoping that they find their way to me and I end up adding to my local friends list a little bit. So that's one of the things I would like. In the meantime, the connections I make through the channel and work with you and my beautiful moderators, Tess and Julie, and those that I work with, that helps. That helps. But I'd still like someone just to hang out with occasionally and go to lunch with, or, that kind of thing. So that's one of the abundance things I'd like more of abundance of, is real physical people to share some of my time with. So that was mine. Okay. And that is it for our meditation. Again, I thank you so much for participating. And I hope that you consider abundance to be so much more than just material goods. And no matter what type of abundance you would like more of in your life that's positive, I hope that you get it and that I hear back from you when you've seen a positive change. But we've created it. We have, because we didn't just think of ourselves, we thought of others too. And that's important and that's valued. So until next time, when we meditate on who knows what, I wait for a little bit of inspiration throughout the month on what we should be meeting about. I send you love, light, and I wish you everything bright. There will be live chat replay on this video. It will be under the lives tab. So if you watch later, you can. And just a quick reminder, time is a human construct. So if you didn't participate when this was live, you listen later or you re-listen, all you have to do is say, I want the energy or the participation energy that I do in this video to go back to when it aired and be part of the live first showing of the event, it'll happen. It'll happen. That's one of the reasons we've learned to protect our energy from the future, because it seemed like people ahead of time were sending it back to us. So that's why we protect our energy all around. But we welcome energy that wants to participate or observe in neutrality, no matter when that happens. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be stopping this live stream, and I'll count down from 10 to give you a chance to finish your comments in the live stream chat. If you don't have a chance to do that, you're welcome to add comments to the meditation on the live tab. There'll be comments be open there for also. So thank you to my moderators and to everybody that participated. I'll be stopping this in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.